Okay, it has been a long time since I released an operations video from the layout, so that's what we're going to do today. We've got a decent amount of work today. Let's back our train into view. Here we got our caboose, B&O C3800, 3801. Then we got a B&O boxcar. This boxcar is B&O 294-201, and it will be going to Marne Colton, Oregon. Then our next car is Conrail 59723. This flat car is supposedly full of lumber. And then we have B&O 166017. That is a load going to the freight depot ramp. And then we have Pennsylvania Railroad 67824. That is a load going to the freight depot ramp. Undetermined load. We have Mobile, Ohio 21190. That's a load of cotton going to the freight depot platform for the textile mill. Then we have Chesapeake, Ohio ice bunker reefer 746-934, which is full of ice. And then this D&H boxcar 28121, which is empty and is going to Embury Lantern. Then we have the Bangor and Aroostook 5972, an empty boxcar going to New York Concrete Pipe. No, this is going to Embury Lantern. Then we have Conrail 59606, another flat car that is loaded with lumber and is going to the elevator factory. Then we have B&O 435006. This is an open hopper loaded with coke going to the elevator factory. Then we have Boston and Maine 76154. That's empty going to the elevator factory along with D&H 19198. Also going to the elevator factory. So you have a decent amount of work today, and you'll be switching those cars out. So let's get into switching. So our first order of business, let's get the some cars pulled. So we got to pull a Seneca Valley open hopper from Montgomery Coal. So now when the tracks are cut, I will not be able to do this because there's no feeder on that track. But for now, I can run a locomotive onto that. But in the future, you will not be able to run a locomotive on that track. Now with the coupling made, air tied on, brakes released, 238 will pull out all the cars, and you'll see that Seneca Valley right there. Now at Marne Colton, we got to pull that BL&E and the Conrail flat car, so we might as well get those out of there as well. I think my lens is dirty on my camera, on my phone. Now let's stretch them, see if it connected. And it did. Now we stop. Connect the hoses, release the brakes. And then pull out. Now the next order of business is we got to get a load of lanterns, an Embry lantern. And we also got to get an empty cement hopper out of there. And the empty cement hopper is that Conrail one right there. So we have to pull out past that switch to Embry lantern and near concrete pipe and get those cars out of there. You see, we're backing into that switch. And now we'll pull those cars out of there, and no reason to show the process, so we'll show you when we're back connected to the rest of our train. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch out this one box car that has to be taken up the hill. And we're going to switch out that Cosmos Portland cement out of the train because that has to be respotted at New York Concrete Pipe. And we have two box cars to go to Embry lantern that have to go behind it. So there's no reason for that to be in the way. So we leave the boxcar full of lanterns for the Chicago Northwestern. We sent to the Chicago Northwestern, and we take our train down. Switch it onto the spur, the industrial spur, and we shove it past, and we go across the creek and couple up to the rest of the train, to the train we brought down with us. We have coupled to the rest of our train, and now that car is getting pulled, 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 and that car is getting pulled. But then I believe the rest of those two are staying. Let me check my notes here. Yep, both of those coal hoppers are in fact staying. At Montgomery Coal. So I'll pull the train down, we'll couple onto there, and then we will shove all 5 cars that are getting picked up onto Montgomery Coal spur, and then we'll go and grab the cars and spot the 2 that have to go to Embry lantern, and then we'll spot our cars that have to go to Mar and Colton. So here we have our cars to be pulled here. I don't know why this is doing this, but it's having a problem with that switch or something there. I don't know what's going on here, but there's some problem here. I don't know if it's that right there. Oh, focus on that. There's like some type of corrosion there or something. I've had to clamp down those those rail joiners because it been connection problems there. But I don't know. There's something wrong in this track here. These are the two boxcars that have to go to Embry Lantern, which is going to be interesting getting those through the curve. I don't know if I'll go through the curve or not. It's a sharp curve. But we'll get these disconnected and pull that train down, and we'll see how well they do. So here we are going down the track. I swear eventually I'll be doing scenery on this. That's one thing that's going to be talked about in the layout update. In the June-July update, because I didn't do one in June. So that time I went through there perfectly fine. It didn't mess up. I don't know what's wrong with that. It just messes up sometimes. Let's see how these 50-foot boxcars do through the curve. You hear them rubbing. They rubbed, but they made it. Okay. I've had problems with 50-footers derailing before, but they didn't. And now we shove back, and these four cars that we have ahead of the Cosmos Cement car, those are all for the elevator factory. So those will be switched later. But right now we're going down to get the cars that have to go to Maren Colton, Oregon. I wiggled that track and now it's working fine. It'll probably work fine once I have it ballasted and it's set in place in the position that it works in. So here we're going back to our cars. We'll be coupling up to the Chesapeake and Ohio reefer. I'll stretch them, see if its coupling is good. And it is. So we'll stop and we'll connect the air. So here is our two cars that have to go to Maren Colton, Oregon. We have this car, which just pretend it's loaded with lumber. I don't have lumber loads. And then we have this box car that is, I guess it's empty to take pipe organ somewhere. So those are the next cars to spot. So now we have to pull all these cars down, and hopefully there will be enough room for them to clear the track. If not, we're going to probably set off that Cosmos cement hopper back into New York concrete pipe. I'll probably do that off camera, just to, in the I can't think of the word, for time. But let's drop the phone. And so here we have the Cosmos event. I did do it off camera. There's our Delaware and Hudson boxcar, and you can see my old handbrake there to keep it from rolling when it's not level. So we're pulling these out. 4 car links. 3, 2, 1, half, and that'll do. Reach over here, we throw the switch, and tell them to back up. Bring it back. Good for 7, 6, 5. Of course, they're not doing radio signals at this time. They're just doing hands. 3, 4. I misjudged it. It's actually 6. But 0. There we go. That's good. And they will then pull out what fell? Oh, it fell. Something over there fell. Oh. So we got the cars spotted over here. Now we just have to respot the cars for at Montgomery Coal. And that'll be the end of this video. So now to do this, why is this going foggy? I don't know why this is doing this. Might be something wrong with my camera. It's outdated. It might be because my phone's getting hot. Because it's 80 degrees up here. I'm sweating. So we'll back these up. I can hardly wait till I can have this layout out in the barn. This is going in the barn too. So what we're going to do here is we're going to shove the train back, and we're going to clear that switch, and then we are going to grab the cars off the Montgomery coal spur. We're going to grab the 2 hoppers, put on the coal trestle, and then we're going to shove them into there. And then we're going to take the 5 cars we pulled from these industries up, and then that'll be the end of this video. And now you see we have our cars pulled off of there. In the interest of time, I didn't show it. When the barn is done, which is, we'll be talking about that in the July update. This will be out in the barn after it's rebuilt, and you can have electric, and it's insulated, so we can have electric and stuff, and then we'll be able to have better lighting on this thing. So we're going to go back it on to where the coal trestle will be. And there we go. Those 5 cars will be taken up the hill. Move that over there to represent the load of lumber. It's actually the pieces to the loading dock that's supposed to be over at the freight depot. But I still haven't put that kit together. So that ends for half the day's switching here in the Warsaw, on the BRMP B&O Warsaw Industrial Branch. Tune in next time where we'll be switching the rest of the layout, the elevator factory, and the Warsaw Freight Depot. Take care. From CP Silver Springs, Milepost 360 and then Southern Tier Line. Keep on the trains. Come out.